to Gabriel Horcasitas, the man who shot me. It is a shame we encountered each other that day in those circumstances. I am a version of Chris Pelkey recreated through AI that uses my picture and my voice profile.
Wow, okay, so a man killed in a road rage shooting in Chandler, Arizona is getting to confront his killer in court, all because of artificial intelligence. So what you just heard and saw was an AI-generated image of Chris Pelkey's face and voice giving an impact statement towards the killer.
This is unbelievable. It is believed to be an unprecedented use of AI in a courtroom. Pelkey's sister, Stacey Wales, wanted the court to hear what she believed her brother would have said to the killer had he still been alive. So Stacey turned to her husband, Tim, and their friend Scott Yenser to create that video.
Received 49 letters that the judge was able to read before walking into sentencing that day. But there was one missing piece. There was one voice that was not in those letters.
This is really something else.
Yeah.
Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes joining us this morning. Khalif, it's touching, it's moving, and then you remember, wait, it's AI. The judge was moved by this. It was so moving. What's your initial reaction when you see this?
I got a lot of reactions. I mean, and this is, first of all, obviously this individual lost his life, right? So this is the worst situation you can go through as a family member, as someone that practices homicides. And I'm in there all the time. Today's homicide day in Mecklenburg County. And so you will hear these victim impact statements all the time. Typically a victim impact statement is from the victim's family, you know, mother, sister, spouse, children, you know, not from the victim themselves. And so this was a very, very, unique situation. I'm trying to look for the best way to describe how it made me feel, because I'm not sure. I'm not. That judge would have had to be in line with this happening, right? I'm assuming, because the story didn't talk about that. Nothing in the reports indicate if the judge was notified ahead of time. Most of the judges that I know would have wanted to at least know that this was happening before. Like, hey, how it works in Mecklenburg County, the DA's office would have some liaison that brings in the victim impact people before they get ready to testify, get ready to speak. So when the DA is giving their whole recitation of what happened and they're taking a plea, at some point they do this victim impact, and then they lead them in and they say, hey, I know we got a list of folks that want to speak. Here's the mother, here's the father. Okay, then they go. Someone would have had to tell the court, hey, we also have this AI generated avatar that is the victim, and we want having them have an opportunity to speak. So definitely, I think the best thing I could describe is unique for sure. Unique
and unprecedented. This isn't the first time the AI has been used in this way. So we had the Gabby Petito documentary where they used old video clips and her voice to read her diary entries. There's been a lot of documentaries where they do that, but that's for entertainment. Where do we kind of draw the line? Is that getting blurred here for something that, again, this is approved by the family, but what kind of lines are we crossing?
I think we're crossing some blurred lines, because remember, these victim impact statements, and it really depends on, let me go here, it depends on the type of plea that it was, right? So if this is a plea that was like a closed plea, then if I'm defense, I have no complaint. Why would I have no complaint? Because it's a closed plea, the judge really has no say. They're either going to accept or reject a plea. There'll be a range where it says you're pleading to, 10 years. Okay, great. I know that I'm walking in there and the most they can do is either accept or reject this 10 years. They can't do up or down. But if it's an open plea, then I don't want anything like this happening, because now the victim, the judge, is going to be impacted even further, because not only does she hear from the other people, she's hearing from the victim, and that just was going to take them, I'm assuming, to a different place where they say, well, okay, I'm going to go higher than I may have anticipated before. We've seen this in court as well. We talked about it here about a month ago with the judge in New York. She was not happy with the attorney, I should say with the person that created his own attorney. I'm not sure if you guys remember that. He brought his own attorney, popped up the avatar, he started talking, and the judge was like, hey, is this counsel? And so she did not like that. Why? Because she didn't get noticed. She didn't know what was going on. This judge, on the other hand, said, I love that AI. Thank you for that. You have different opinions on how AI can be used in the courtroom, but I can tell you this, you need to make sure that the judge knows, or it will always be a problem.
Now, we know this is not currently allowed in a trial with a jury. This just happened to be in a sentencing where hearsay is admissible. But what red flags do you see in the future? I mean, this is so early on in technology, right? We're all still trying to wrap our heads around AI, where it can go. Do you see this being down the road a potential for an attorney becomes AI or a witness? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know we're going way out there,
right.
But once you open the door
Yeah.
to this, where does it stop?
I think the court is already thinking about that. And when I say the court, I'm talking about the Bar Association is already considering how AI can be implemented. There's a number of like courts in each state that's thinking about this as well. But I'd say in terms of legal representation using AI, I think that will be extremely far down the road until these AI is really to talk and walk and communicate like a human being. It's not going to happen. But I think these types of things can happen. It just takes the perfect situation of having someone that has technology and being able to recognize how to use it, and then having a situation where the court is open to having it be used in the setting like this. But I think there's a negative as well where you can have the court be swayed in a way they wouldn't have been in the past from a person, or I should say an AI generated thing that is not really real. So that's going to be something that will be litigated in the future. Well, did I receive a different sentence because of this AI?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
There's going to have to be a lot of communication between the parties before things like that make it into the courtroom. So we'll just kind of see what happens next with this, Khalif. Thank you.